Hi and welcome to the Average Tabletop Gamers. On this episode we're going to be looking at two roleplay starter sets, the Star Trek Adventures and the D&D Essentials. Hi there, welcome to the Average Tabletop Gamers. I'm Ben.
And I'm Gary.
And on this episode we're going to be kind of branching out ever so slightly from our usual fare.
Moving away from board games into the wonderful world of role-playing.
The magical world.
The theatre of the mind version that we prefer over here in the UK for all our American viewers.
All two of you. So roleplay is something that we do roleplay. We've done the roleplay.
Yeah.
It's something that we all love, and maybe we'll be able to kind of get some of you guys on board as well, and maybe some of the board gamers out there and war gamers that we have on the channel kind of maybe interested in branching out a little bit. So what we're going to do in this episode is have a look at two of the basic starter sets for some of the more popular games that are out at the moment.
Good little entry points.
Yeah, really nice ways of kind of introducing into the hobby, introducing into the games and the world themselves, and giving you a really good idea of like what's involved and kind of where to go from there.
It's in an inexpensive way as well. Role-playing can be, you can spend a fortune from back in the days of like, very collectible. You speak to a very poor man over here from his role-playing collections, but back in the days of things like Werewolf and Vampire became so collectible, and a myriad of volumes at like 15 to 25 quid a book, and
that eternal power creep that appeared in those kind of games, especially the World of Darkness,
and then a next edition, and then a further reprint, and when actually I think things like this are really brilliant now.
The whole role playing market and the whole role playing world has had a massive shift over the last couple of years in terms of content. You know, Kickstarter's made a huge difference to the amount of games that are available, and some of the big boys, some of the big companies have seen the way that some of these new games are kind of developed, especially a lot of the really rules light systems that are out there,
like drive-through RPG, things like that.
Things like and the print on demand and PDF copies. And so the big boys like WotC and Modiphius and Cubicle 7, people like that, have taken this jump into entry level cheap roleplay games or cheap roleplay aids.
And that seems to have stimulated this thrust back to, if you're really old, this is what role-playing games used to look like.
That was back when I was the same height, but without a beard. The first role-play game I bought was a big red box that had Dungeons and Dragons on the front.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember the first one I bought now. It wasn't more of a fancy roleplay. It might have, funnily enough, been a faster Star Trek one that I got.
Could have been, or it might be Traveller.
Wow, there's so many. But I didn't start in the area of D&D.
But that's where I started. Let's start with the old classic. We'll get to this one in a bit. So
interesting thing about this is the second of two sets that they've done and produced. So this box set is called the Essentials Kit, but there's also the starter set that they did. The starter set retails for about £15. You can get it now, where it's very self-contained, basic light rulebook in there, characters 1 to 5, levels in there, a self-contained adventure with a basic map, dice in there, the things to get you going. This is, I think, the next step up from that. So we'll open up just to show you some of the contents, and the artwork is beautiful, and I will say that cover art is absolutely magnificent.
They've always D&D as Dungeons and Dragons has always had wonderful artists on staff, and been able to kind of produce that level of pretty.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now kind of looking back and remembering how again technology's advanced with publishing and layout softwares and things like this. So it makes it everyone with the computer can now make something that looks really pretty.
So and I think we've got things right. I mean, you've got your basics in here. You've got your bag of polyhedral dice.
That's a lot. What have we got in there?
You get the full set.
You get a full set and 4d6. Yeah.
It's a really generous set of dice.
Yeah.
Which when you consider for if you're buying a pack of dice like this from other places, you're looking these can retail from anywhere from like £3, £4, £5, and for some of the more specialised dice where they're a bit jazzy, a bit pretty, you can pay double that.
You can pay up to you can get some really over the top.
I will come to this last. Okay.
So something to look forward to.
You get a GM screen in here, which
how cool.
Is pretty bloody amazing. Once again,
that's beautiful.
It's a beautiful rolling piece of art on it, going everything from a beautiful elven glade all the way through to a sweeping, jagged plain into a dragon atop an icy tundra. The artwork's beautiful.
White dragon.
And it's much as it comes back, but it will lay out. And if I was a games master, I can comfortably use this, no problems whatsoever.
What I really like about that is how wide it is.
Yeah.
Because most of them aren't as wide as that. Now,
I bet this would cover the end of this table quite admirably. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. It's like the thought about it. So the dimensions of it are really good, and if we flip around the other side, I know you can't see a great image of it, but it's got the quick reference sheets that a games master would use. Sorry, a DM would use, because it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeon Master.
Okay.
So you've got there's some really some really good useful rules that as a DM you'd really need. So. Things like food, drink and lodging costs,
basic NPCs,
conditions for combat, just the really useful rules that you'd find in a game.
Nuts and bolts.
Yeah, real nuts and bolts. Yeah.
Absolutely basic stuff. And
I really like that.
And when you look at this rulebook is, let's get a page count, 64 pages long. It's just there's no artwork on this, it's just very basic, and I think it doesn't take away from the fact it's glossily produced, it's really nice artwork within it, simply laid out. You've got a variety of races, talks about the classes in here, everything you would need to get started, beautiful bits of little character art here and there, so you get that real evocative feel for what you'd be to be immersed in the world, and it gives you a very basic overview of some of the worlds indeed.
I think it looks like it's for playing up to level 6.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
Let's have a look on the back of the box, because it does tell you. Yeah, it is good levels. Yeah, it's an extension from the basic game, so it's up to levels 5 and 6.
But it's got everything that you'd find in the full rules up to that level.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Has it? Yeah.
You actually get a map in here of the Sword Coast. So anyone who's familiar with the Forgotten Realms setting, Neverwinter Wood, the Sword Coast, Neverwinter...
Baldur's Gate, if you've ever played that on computer, that's all part of Forgotten Realms.
All part of this. Baldur's Gate, by the way, very lovely streets to visit in Iceland, if you want to go there, because it's all from Nordic.
Travel advice as well.
There you
go.
go.
Getting it all tonight.
Cultured. You get a great map of the Sword Coast, so this is one of the basic areas of Faerun, one of the core lands and worlds of... Dungeons and Dragons that you get, and you also get a detailed village map as well, so this is a great setting to do encounters within, and this village is actually on the map, so you've actually got this as a location. Now, the other bit...
I'm guessing that all ties in with this.
Yes, this ties in with the Dragon of Icespire Peak, which is the core adventure you get within this. Now, look,
is that one?
Yeah, it's looking pretty meaty for this big white, tough looking dragon. I don't want you to read too much into this, because I will be running this for you guys at some point.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not going to. I won't just show me a picture.
So
is there an owlbear?
There isn't an owlbear, unfortunately. However, there's things like a beautiful undead horse. So there's something not nice going to be going on.
Father
with
Ted
this.
never sang about that.
Absolutely. So it ties in the map. It does everything you'd expect from an adventure set. It gives you encounters, it gives you maps. The map's got locations tied into it, so the classic thing you get in any D&D book where to go, location C7, C8, C9.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice set, and you also get sets of pre-printed character sheets as well, which is fantastic.
They're really nice.
So the last thing I'll come to is this. Now, I built this out of what you get in this set, because you actually get loads of printed cards that you tear apart, which has actually got sidekicks, like people you can encounter, people who might be tagging along with your party. It gives you quests, So you might get a basic question. So as a DM, I might go. You might encounter someone and talk you through it.
I need a quick NPC.
Yeah, entirely. So you've got little encounters in there. You've got magic items. There's plenty of them. Now this is the weird thing. Years ago, Dungeons and Dragons was like renowned for having lots of limited amounts of magic items were very much a rarity. I think they've immersed magic much more into the world, and you feel that now. The magic items take a huge chunk of this, but it's also got effects cards. So as a DM, I can go, you've been blinded.
Yeah, so you've been hit by a blind spell. And I don't know what that does, Mr. DM.
Would you like to read the back of that card?
Oh, that's really handy. I'm going to stick that on top of my character sheet to remind me all the time.
So actually, really, it's a daft little gimmick,
really clever.
but I like it. And it's also got initiative cards for doing the initiative phase as well, so you keep track of that. So I was actually...
That's really clever.
Now, there's the part of me that goes, I would have liked these as a deck of cards.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure why they didn't do a deck of cards. I'm assuming it's a cost thing.
I would assume it's a cost thing as well, and we'll get to the costs at the end.
Yeah. But I think that's a
really nice little box. That's a really nice little...
It's not a gimmick, it's a useful little item. So, as a set, what you get, I think this is really impressive. I think it's really...
It's really, like I say... So, go on then. Actually, let's do the cost on this one now.
So, this set I purchased from Amazon. It's £20. Which
to get into any hobby, a £20 initial outlay is fabulous. Because this is enough for you and a group of people who've never done this to get into it. You've got all the rules you need. You've got an adventure there that's going to tell you how to implement the rules and how to
get it
right and run an adventure. You've got all the paraphernalia you need to make your characters, and then you've got something. You've got bits of odds to help the GM along the way. And
another bonus you get in here, you actually get a voucher to get the full player book for half price online. So you can actually go and buy the main rule book half price from a voucher from this.
The main rule book's usually £35.
£35-ish, yeah, along those lines. Pretty impressive.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah. So that brings us to, what do Modiphius do for a different world?
Wow, this format looks familiar.
So again, it's box set, but I think it's slightly different. Again, this box art is beautiful.
Yeah.
If anyone's out there a Star Trek fan, that just gives you a really good sense of Star Trekking.
Yeah.
I think is
across the universe.
Yeah. Yeah, across the universe. So again, you get a little bag of dice. Now, this uses a different dice style, different dice mechanic, but they give you the dice to do it.
Yeah.
We'll get to these bits later, again, because they're quite, and we'll get to that in a bit. So, what have we got in here? Do you know what, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
Which is much easier
like
just to do that.
Now, see, immediately it's got is it LCARS layout that's referred to as, and I don't know what that stands for. LCARS, something along those lines. I don't know what it means. If you want to nerd us up, that's absolutely fine. Put it in the comments below.
So, again, a really nice little starter rulebook. It's got everything you need for playing the game, and this, as rulebooks go, this is 24 pages.
Sounds like we're being hailed off camera. I think I was supposed to do that.
Two to beam up. So yeah, everything that you need in here to play the game. It gives you your how to set tasks, how to set the challenge difficulties and things like this. Everything you need to play.
Okay. Nothing too complex. It's quite simple.
It's 24 pages.
From the layout point of view, once again, they've followed that. It's a next generation data panel you can tap on, which I love. I really love that.
You've then got how many pages is this bad boy?
I think this suggested to a degree. This suggested simplicity as well when you've got 24 pages and you're playing.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
A campaign. So we're following the same, very similar thing.
I can't know too much about it.
So this is 52 pages of campaign, and again it's laid out. It's again in that same format. I'll go this way.
I can't know what's going on.
We're not doing this one.
We're not doing this one,
no.
But we are in the middle of a campaign for this.
And again, you've got everything in here that you would need to play this campaign. Again, the artwork is wonderful. So, again, similar.
So, hang on. I'm getting a bit. Yeah, okay. The LCARS stands for Library Computer Access Retrieval System. I was right. LCARS. I'm not sure how many nerd points I get for that, but if you want to put that in the comments below, I'd love that as well. I don't know how I've even remembered that. Apparently 87 nerd points. We've had... Yeah, 87. It's been confirmed.
Alright. Can I carry on now?
Yeah.
So we've got some maps, again, location maps that are associated with the campaign.
Okay.
More maps that are associated with the campaign.
Which look like your basic starship layouts, as well as
some
off-planet
and
alien
bobs.
debris.
Now I think I've actually put some pieces of paper somewhere else that were part of this. You get some character sheets.
Does this follow though the character generation that you get in the main book? Can you do the same thing with it?
No, so it's pre-generated characters that you get with this. I can't remember where I don't know where they put them.
Do you know if it gives you the information for that though?
So what you do is you get all of they're pre-generated characters. They're on proper character sheets, and they give you everything on there that you need. So you don't need to worry about the character generation.
Okay.
So you get those, and you get the starter campaign. I can't remember where I've put those. I've taken them out for a reason. But then, so you get a full character sheet to go with the campaign. They're designed to work in the campaign.
Yeah.
And so you get ship's captain, first officer, medical officer, security, etc., etc.
Yeah.
To work in there. These are really nice. Oh, here we go. So there's the starship. Look at that. I thought I'd put them on the backs of the sheets. They're on the back of these other sheets. How good am I? You can. Oh, I've got a terrible headache. So the character sheets, and again they have that same format. What does it mean?
The cards, Library Computer Access and Retrieval System.
Like your brain. So you've got the first officer there, the con, chief engineer, security chief, and medical officer, and then you've got the ship as well. So one of the interesting things about this game is that the ship is a player character.
Yeah, the ship's a character. Yeah, I did like that, and it feels that way as well.
Yeah. So with this one, you actually got a Galaxy class ship. So if you know anything about Star Trek,
it's a big ship.
It's a really big ship. But what you get on the back of these, and which is really, really handy, are these reference sheets to go along with everything. So as the commanding officer, I'll let you have this one next time.
Thank you.
And what it does is it tells you how to do things and kind of what damage rolls to make and things like that. And if you're doing helm and navigation, it gives you a reference sheet for that.
Oh, right, okay.
Sensors internal system, security oversight and tactical reference, a conflict reference, and then how to spend momentum.
That's quite good because it's got things on here like minor actions, helm tasks. So if I was playing the helmsman character, I could go, okay, then we're taking incoming fire. I'm going to take evasive action. To do that, I need this.
Yes.
But that might okay. That's really nice. That's I love that. That is because your characters are function driven. Because I do medical stuff. Having access to that information, that's brilliant.
And again, they have that beautiful next gen layout.
The cars.
The cars layout.
The cars layout.
And then because part of the thing that you can do with this game is you can turn it into a miniatures skirmish game. Or if you want to do the fighting, you can do it as a miniature skirmish game. And they have released miniatures, appropriate miniatures, so you can buy all the casts. They're really pretty as well. But what they've done as a starter set is they've given you a load of these little pop-out cardboards. So you get ones for each of the crew members. You get ones for the secondary crew members, the ship.
Yeah.
You get them for the antagonists. And they again are scaled for working on these maps, so you can actually do scale combat.
Right. Okay. So you can get you got character placement to these figures, but if you had figures, right? Okay, I can see where they've gone there. That's really clever.
And again, that's all taken care of in the rules. So again, it's another starter box. It's another starter system, game system, and again, it's 20 quid.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Do you know what? These as a concept are old, but they're taken to another level.
Yeah.
Originally, you would see a box. It would have typically it was 3 books in it. Games Workshop mimicked that format for its early iterations of its.
Well, the original D&D red box,
which I've got in the house.
Oh, lucky man. Was 3 books, a set of dice, and some printed character sheets. That one is 3 books, a set of dice, and some printed character sheets.
Yeah,
pretty much.
With a little bit extra.
But taking that next step into the modern world. I think
if you're looking for an entry point, these are brilliant. And I think there's other manufacturers will be doing no doubt similar sets to these.
There are other ones out there. We haven't got a hold of them at the moment. There's only so many hours in the day. But I know there's one for the new Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay has got one, and the like. And I know the new Cyberpunk game that's coming out later this year. That's got one called the Red Box. Yeah, that they're doing as part of it. And again, that's looking at a $20 to $25 price point.
So if you are an average tabletop gamer like we are, these are a really average starting point. Yeah. But I would never class these as average if they're so good.
Yeah. If you want to, if you've never taken up role playing, or you're thinking, or you are role playing, you're looking at getting into another game. So you've done lots of Dungeons and Dragons, but you're a bit of a Trekkie, or you're a Trekkie and you want to start looking at the daddy of it all and kind of go back to the beginning. You're looking at £20. You get everything you need. Self-contained. They are pick up and play, and they're good to play through to 6th level in D&D. You're looking at a good amount of time. Yeah. That's a lot of adventuring in that.
Yeah, and you're also limited with any role playing game by your imagination. Yeah. You can take it further, do side quests, stay with those same characters before you launch further.
The Forgotten Realms has been around for 30 years. Yeah. So there's an awful lot of stuff out there, and it is kind of like the official Dungeons and Dragons world. Yeah. So they're constantly making new adventures and new books for it as well. Star Trek, the Star Trek Adventures role playing game. From this, you've then got the rule book and all of the different sector books, adventure books, racial rules and things like this. There's so much. Yeah,
and it mirrors all the manufacturers have got this part really.
And it goes back to that old collector thing that you get with role playing books, role playing games. That's what they're designed for. Yeah. Is parting a nerd and.
So, in summary, then,
they're wonderful.
Brilliant.
Absolutely wonderful. Massive fans of them, both sets. I'm really looking forward to getting our teeth into that.
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to doing more of this. Yeah. And I think you out there, if you've got any of these, or if you've got other ones that you think we should be having a look at, let us know down below. You can catch us on our social media channels, which will appear like magic just here, any moment. Look at that, there they are.
The power of the internet.
You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram.
Play by mail.
You can't do a play by mail.
Just check it out, the really great set. We look forward to your feedback as well. We, absolutely brilliant sets to know more about.
Yeah, absolutely. So for this episode, that is us, and cheers very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Recording now.
I was waiting for you to say action.